Why hello there! If you've clicked on this video, I'm sure you've seen either the thumbnail or the title and you know what you're in for. I'm gonna try to write 30,000 words in 15 hours. If you scroll back further on my channel, you're gonna see that I've done similar experiments, but not quite as extreme. I have written 10,000 words in 5 hours and 20,000 words in 10 hours. So the next natural step, obviously, is to go for 30k in 15 hours. Now, today is Saturday, February 5th, and it's just after 11 in the morning. I am actually not gonna do this for 15 hours straight, unlike I've done with the 5 and 10 hours in the past. Instead, I'm gonna split it up and do 7.5 hours today and 7.5 hours tomorrow, meaning that in 7.5 hours, or 7.5 hours after I start, I already want to have written 15,000 words today, and then I want to repeat the process tomorrow. Does this sound like a good idea to anyone? Not to me, but here we are. I'm currently working on a project that I'm calling Simon and Noah, which is unsurprisingly about two characters named Simon and Noah. They meet during a summer, they both attend a summer course in photography, and they meet and chaos ensues and, you know, they want to be together but they don't communicate that well, but they sort of end up being together, but back and forth, back and forth. I'm currently working on that, but I don't think that'll be the only project I work on this weekend, partly because I'm already 39,000 words into that. I don't think it needs another 30k, but also because I'm feeling a little bit stuck in it and I just want to get on to something else and see if that is more motivating for me and makes me write faster. I do have a project in mind that I haven't started, but I have some notes for, which I'm calling Lexi and Alex, which is about best friends Lexi and Alex. I'm very good at naming things. Anyway, I am hoping to write 15,000 words today in the next 7.5 hours, and I'm gonna start in, what is that, like 7 minutes at 11:15, and then work until 6:45 tonight. I am counting the time from when I start my writing until I stop my writing for the night, but all the time in between will not be active writing time. I'm gonna have to take a break for food, go into the bathroom, maybe looking at something other than the screen or the story, stuff like that. But it will be 7.5 hours between when I start and when I finish, and then repeating the process tomorrow, but hopefully a little bit earlier in the day. So that's what I think you need to know for right now. I'm gonna wait another couple minutes and then jump into this and report back throughout the day to let you know how it goes. Let's do this. It is 12:15, so it's been an hour now since I started, and the headache I was hoping would go away has not yet gone away. Either way, it is an hour since I started, and I've since then written for 50 minutes. I did one 20-minute sprint and one 30-minute sprint, and the first one gave me 1,117 words, the second one 1,646. So my total so far is 2,763. I'm not feeling super excited about what I'm doing, I will be honest, and I am skipping a bit in the project. I don't know what I'm supposed to write right now, basically. I have a very vague outline and I have not stayed true to it, and now I have done things out of order, and now I need to slot a few more things in and then wrap it up, and it's a mess. So I'm skipping around some parts I know I'm gonna have, and then we will just see how consistent I am, or how many gaps I end up having. But it has been an hour now since I started the whole thing for today, and I'm actually gonna take a break and have lunch now, because maybe that will help my headache, I hope so, and then I'll get back to it. But I am writing for 7.5 hours today, or it will be 7.5 hours between starting and finishing, and that means I have to average 2,000 words an hour, and I'm also gonna lose a chunk of time now that I have lunch. I'm not gonna make anything super complicated, but it will still take time away from the writing, and I do wanna eat without typing at the same time. But in the first hour, I wrote for 50 minutes and got almost 2.8k, so far so good. And even if it takes me like an hour to have lunch and get back into it again, that is catch-upable, which is totally a word. So anyway, I'm gonna go have lunch now. I'll talk to you later, hopefully with less headache and more excitement. Hello, it is time for another update. It is 2:26. I took the lunch break, and I had a lunch break for an hour, and then I did a 60-minute sprint. Sprint may not be the right term anymore, but I still use sprint when I have a timed intention when I set a timer for a time and I write during that time. Lots of time in that sentence. Either way, 60 minutes and I wrote 3,064 words. So far for this experiment and for today, I am at 5,827 words, which is good. It's now been just over 3 hours since I started the experiment, but like I said, I did take an hour break for lunch. It still feels like I should be able to get this done, which feels really good. Like I said, it's just coming up on 2:30 now and I've taken my lunch break. I don't intend to take any more long breaks. I hope to just be okay with like toilet breaks and quick short little breaks, and then dinner after I'm done is the plan. Let's see how that goes. We also realized that we are extremely low on snacks, which is just rude for this kind of weekend. So Marcus is probably gonna be making ice cream later in the afternoon, which feels great. Although I am freezing. I have heaty pads that I'm currently warming my fingers on, or I keep around my neck or in my lap or under my feet just to heat me up a bit. So ice cream is probably gonna be great for that. But anyway, I have kept writing. I have skipped around a little bit because I have some things where I don't know what to put there, and I've not followed the outline I have earlier, and so now I have to make up for that by not knowing what to write, which is great. But I have just written a kiss between Noah and his ex, and Simon saw it and it's bad and everyone is upset. It's not good. It's very much not good. And now Simon is confronting him the following morning and it's just gonna be bad. However, it's going pretty fast. Like, this is easy to write because I know what's gonna happen. It's quite fast paced, there's a lot of feelings, and so it's fast. It's not so much descriptions and like slow paced and stuff like that. So it's faster, and so it probably gives me a higher word count. But B, I'm coming up on the end of what I have. Like, the big climax of this story is they've had these ups and downs throughout the summer, and then they do this big presentation of the pictures they've taken at their photography course for all of the different assignments they've been given. They were given black and white, they were given portraits, they were given colors and shapes, and now they're on to like nature photography. I feel like there should be at least one more because it's a, you know, full summer course. Anyway, there's this big presentation towards the end and they haven't really made up, but you know, they kind of both want to, but no one wants to be the first one and everyone's upset and it's great. And then Simon walks in and he sees that all of the pictures that Noah has taken or is presenting are of him. He took pictures of Simon, and you can see the love that Noah feels for Simon in these pictures. I'm not really sure. I outlined this in was it 2020? I don't remember. It was a while ago. I want to say 2020. And I don't really remember my intention, and I clearly didn't give them enough assignments to do, and I'm not sure if it's gonna be as cute anymore and stuff like that. But at least I'm writing the sort of fight scene right now. Not fight scene as in like punching, but they are having a fight. And that's fun, question mark. But I am coming up on the end of what I have for this. So it's not unlikely I'll have to skip over to another project or start a new project soon. Which on the one hand feels pretty good, on the other hand not so good. Because then I again have to establish characters and a world and a situation and all that, which is a little bit time consuming and might take a while, especially since with Lexi and Alex that I mentioned, I have less than a page of notes. It all takes place during the same day or the same evening, and I don't really know what to make of that. But anyway, I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update. I'm gonna get back into it now and keep writing, maybe do another hour-long sprint because it actually went really well. I felt really immersed in it, and maybe that hour will be the last hour I spend on this project. Maybe after that I will start something else. Wish me luck. Okay, so it's a little bit before 4 now. It is 3:52 to be exact. And I've just done another hour-long sprint, which got me 3,327 words. So I'm now sitting a little bit above 9,000 words, which means I have a little bit less than 6,000 words to go. I am supposed to stop writing in a little under 3 hours, and the past 2 hours now I've managed to get over 3,000 words in an hour. So theoretically I should only need another 2-hour-long sprints to go, or another 2 hours hopefully of writing. These hour-long sprints are actually going really well. I am getting really immersed into it, although after I finished the last one and I talked to you last time, I was very, I don't know, I just lost motivation a bit. I was like, I'd rather sit and edit a video right now. I would rather crochet right now. But I went back into it after some pep talking from Marcus, so thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And yeah, I was now promised ice cream, and the ice cream isn't done.
The ice cream is about to start.
Yeah. So maybe I'll have that in my next break or something. But yeah, the hour-long sprints have been working really well today. I've gotten really immersed in the story. I've a little bit decided to throw the outline to the wind. I still want the same resolution. However, I decided I wanted to just write happy things right now. They had the fight, and then I was like, I just want them to be happy. So now they're sleeping together, which they were not supposed to do, but they're enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. It's pretty good. So that's where I am right now. I'm gonna take a little bit of a break, not long enough for the ice cream to be done, but a little bit of a break. Maybe to edit a video, but I shouldn't, but I kind of want to. We will see. Either way, I'll take a little bit of a break and then I will get back into the writing. I just can't help but feel like I've done the math wrong. But no, it's about 2 hours and 45 minutes until I'm supposed to be capping it for the day. That's my 7.5 hours. So far, I have 9,154 words written, and my total writing time so far has been 170 minutes. So under 3 hours. I've written about 9K in 3 hours of active writing time, which makes sense. If I can write 3,000 words in an hour and I'm 4 hours in, am I 4 hours in? I am losing it. Either way, I'm enjoying writing right now, and I will take a break because I think I should. But right now I am kind of eager to get back into it. I think they're pretty eager for me to get back into it so I can finish up what they're doing. And yeah, it's going pretty well. I will report back later with probably ice cream and an update for the writing. Probably.
Oops, I almost poured it out. But only almost.
Nom 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 nom. Hello again. It is now 5:36 in the evening. I took a bit of a longer break than I intended to, which I'm not regretting, but I'm now feeling a little bit stressed because I'm supposed to be done in 1 hour and 9 minutes and the clock is ticking. And I've slowed down. Also, I'm wearing these because my hands are cold. I also have heated pads back on my lap and under my feet because of who I am as a person. I continued writing on Simon and Noah, but I only wrote 395 words before I felt like I feel stuck and I don't know how to proceed, and I have very much veered off from the post-it note outline. So I instead jumped over to a new document and I started working on Lexi and Alex, or Alex and Lexi. I'm a little bit undecided about which order to put the names in. According to my tracking and the document, I'm now saying Alex and Lexi, so I guess I'll just go with that. I didn't tell you a whole lot about that project, but basically they've been friends since kindergarten, and now they're back home for the first Christmas break when they've been away at college for a semester, and now they're going to a New Year's Eve party with their high school friends, or not so much friends, especially not for Alex, more Lexi's friends, if anything. And it's gonna be awful, but also really good, and I'm enjoying it so far. It's a lot, like, not darker, but like gloomier. Alex is a lot more cranky than I thought she would be. But either way, I wrote 2,458 words on that so far. So my total for the hour is 2,853. Now, the clock is ticking, like I said, and my total for the day so far is 12,007 words. So I really do need to hit 3,000 words in the next hour, and I hope I'm just slowing down because I didn't know what it was doing. Also, I went and heated up these, and also I got ice cream that I've been eating as well, so I hope I will speed back up. I've only really had 2 hours that have been over 3K. Now I have 1 hour and 6 minutes until I'm supposed to cap it for the day. I really don't want to be behind 15K. I did secretly hope to be a little bit ahead of that, so we have to do a little less than 15K tomorrow, hoping to get to at least 15K tonight, but I will cap it at 7.5 hours. Because I started later than I intended to today, and it would be good to just get to do some evening, I think. I'm gonna write for an hour, and do I go for an hour, or do I actually go for an hour and 5 minutes or 4 minutes or whatever I end up having? If I just go for the hour, I still have a couple minutes to catch up if I don't hit the 15k. But if I do, maybe I'll write more without being interrupted. I'm overthinking this. It's now 5:40. I will write. I'll set an alarm for an hour and 4 minutes, and then I'll start when it's at 5:41, and then it will be fine. I'll be fine. We have an hour and 4 minutes. You can't very well see that, can you? There you go, an hour and 4 minutes, and it's 30 seconds to go. So I'll talk to you in an hour, 4 minutes, and 30 seconds. Wish me luck, because I am getting worried that I will not finish 15k tonight. Okay, it is 6:45. My alarm just went off, but that says 6. Why am I trying to cover the back to hide that? It is 6:45, as you can tell, and my alarm just went off to tell me that my sprint is over, and I have not yet checked my word count. I did take a bathroom break when it was half an hour left to go, and at that point I was at 1700 words, so I think I should have made it. But we're gonna check. I'm also stopping in the middle of a sentence, which I think might be good. Not that I had much of a choice, the timer went off and I stopped. But I'm gonna scroll back up and see how many words I got in this hour and 4 minute long sprint, so 64 minutes. I wrote for a lot of pages, that's for sure. I've marked it, but I'm not looking. I'm gonna put 64 minutes into my spreadsheet, and now we go back over here. I wrote 3,350 words in that roughly hour. Again, 64 minutes. 3,350 words brings me up to 15,357 for the day in 7.5 hours. Very, very pleased with that. I have spent a total of 294 minutes sprinting today, and I don't deduct the toilet break, and I don't deduct the time it took me to, you know, go get new water and stuff during the sprints. 294 minutes of active writing time, so that is just under 5 hours. And I've written 15,357 words, so 357 words more than I needed for today, 357 words less for tomorrow. Feeling really good. I've now written almost 6,000 of the Alex and Lexi story, which is going pretty well. I don't think it's a full thing. I think it's more a short story than a full book. Like, I don't think it's gonna reach 50k, for example, but feeling pretty good about it. It's fun to write something that like, the only notes I have is this little sheet of paper. So it's a page with some pretty good spacing there. And then it's what, like 2 lines on the back, 2 lines on the back. And there's not a lot in here. It's that Lexi and Alex have been best friends forever. They're back home for their Christmas break or their winter holidays from college, and they go to a New Year's Eve party with people they know. Alex has a crush on Lexi and has had for many years. Lexi doesn't know about that. Alex hasn't come out as gay, and Alex's New Year's resolution is gonna be to be true to herself. And so far so good. I mean, it's early evening. It's maybe 7 p.m. in the evening of the store right now, and actually the evening here too, almost. And I don't know, it's just gonna be fun to see where it goes, see how it goes. I don't think it's gonna be super long, which also might mean it doesn't have another 15k in it, which means I either have to go back to Simon and Noah tomorrow when I'm done with this, either when I'm done with it or when I'm done with it, so fed up with it. So we'll see how that goes. But feeling pretty good about it so far. It's interesting to write like how people have or haven't changed since high school. This is their first winter break of college, so they haven't been apart for very long. It's been about 6-7 months since they graduated high school, but it's interesting to see who is still with who and who's fighting with who and all that. And I just wanna say a thing. They bump into a couple I've named Stevie and Parker. I'm having a really difficult time here because this is in English, Simon and Noah is in Swedish, and yes, I could use English sounding names in the Swedish one and vice versa, but I sat here going, what's a name? What's a name I can use? Either way, they bump into Stevie and Parker on a flight of stairs. It's from Lexi's POV, that part, and it goes, Alex and I run into Stevie and Parker as we make our way up the stairs, and their hands are linked together. I see that you made up, I say, hugging them in turn. It's difficult to hug someone who's holding hands with someone else. We did, Parker says with a grin. Stevie realized that she was wrong all along, so we got back together over the summer. I was not wrong, Stevie says, ripping her hand away from his. You told me that you were sorry, and you don't say sorry if you don't admit to doing something wrong. I'm sorry you found out, he says, spreading his arms. I thought you understood that. You thought I forgave you because I understood that you were sorry that I found out, Stevie asks, her voice loud and high-pitched. You're such a fucking ass. And then they storm off. So evidently, things are going great for everyone involved, and everyone's having a great time. I'm also going to share one more section because I'm actually really happy with it. So Alex doesn't want to be at this party. Am I out of focus? Alex doesn't want to be at this party, but she's there because Lexi wanted to go, and the only thing worse than spending New Year's Eve with your high school classmates for Alex is to spend it alone. So she went, and she's there with Lexi, and Lexi was a lot more popular and a lot more extroverted in high school, and still now, than Alex ever was. And so everyone's really excited to see Lexi and talking to her, and Alex feels like she's furniture, basically. Anyway, they're having pizza out on the patio, and when like Alex says that we're gonna sit on this bench, the both of us, and then one person leaves at a time to get more pizza, and then the other one stays and takes up the whole bench so we don't have to be apart, basically. They're a little bit codependent, but I understand them. Alex gets up to get more pizza, comes back, finds Lexi sitting with someone else on this bench. And it's a pretty long section. Skip ahead if you don't care. I just want to read you this because I thought it was a little funny. And Alex is a personality. Alex, Lexi says, indicating towards me as she looks back at the guy who's taken my spot. See, this is the friend I was talking about. Pleasure to meet you, Alex, he says, extending his hand towards me. I wave the pizza slices around in the air. Sorry, I say, taking a bite out of one of the slices. My hands are kind of busy. I can take my slice, Lexi says, and I don't have much choice than to give it to her. Reluctantly, I shake the stranger's hand. I'm Jordan, he says, his grip firm. I'm one of Jones's friends. You're in my seat. Lexi almost chokes on her pizza. Here, Alex, take mine, she says, getting to her feet. I need a drink anyway. I want to protest, but I can't very well do that in front of Jordan. That would be a little too rude, even for me. Reluctantly, I sink down on the bench next to him, making very sure to stay on my side of it. Are you here together? Jordan asks, nodding towards Lexi's back. Nearly joined at the hip, I tell him. So yeah, we're here together. He looks after her. Well, the rubber band between your hips seems quite elastic, he says, judging by how far away she's able to get now. Wow, look at her go. I roll my eyes. Why are you talking to me? He raises an eyebrow. I'm a friendly guy, he says with a shrug. I like talking to people. My mother always told me not to talk to strangers, I say. When he opens his mouth to say something back, I cut him off. And don't tell me that strangers don't know each other's names. You're still a stranger. He nods slowly. Impressive spiel, he tells me, leaning back against his arm. But fine, have it your way. I'm Jordan, 22, goes to the University of California, pre-med. Is there in the University of California? I'm not sure, but there is now. I roll my eyes. A doctor, of course. What's that supposed to mean? I lick the pizza grease off my fingers. Tell me, Mr. Pre-Med, I say. Did you sit down voluntarily or did Lexi make you? He furrows his brows. What do you mean? I shake my head. I swear, sometimes she's worse than an overbearing mother. Who tells you not to talk to strangers? He asks with a smirk. I shoot him a look. Yes, I tell him, brushing invisible crumbs off my lap. She's always trying to set me up with someone, and she would love if I ended up with a doctor. He holds his hands up. Who said anything about anyone ending up with anyone? He asks, widening his eyes. I just sat down to have a good time and get to know someone. Oh, I know, I tell him, smiling coyly. But now that I've met you, I can never forget you. I want a spring wedding, at least 8 kids. Oh, and can we have a holiday home in Napa Valley? I've always wanted to go. You're fucking crazy. He gets to his feet and storm off, just as Lex returns with 2 cans of Coke. Wow, she says, looking after him. How long was I gone, and how did you manage to scare him off so quickly? So, you know, that's fun. To me, at least. Probably not to Alex. A little bit to me. Anyway, it is now coming up at 6:56 and we should probably have dinner soon, so I'm gonna wrap it up here, but I made it. I made it. 7.5 hours, 294 minutes out of that was spent writing, and 15,357 words. We're halfway there, both in time and word count. So let's hope that I get started a little bit earlier tomorrow. I'm still only gonna do 7.5 hours, obviously, but I wanna get started a little bit earlier, so I'm done a little bit earlier in the evening, because I don't wanna be done with this at 7 p.m. tomorrow and then basically have dinner and go to bed and then go to work on Monday. I want a little bit more evening than that, so fingers crossed for that. Anyway, thank you for watching today. I'll see you again tomorrow. Good morning. It is the second day of this experiment. It is February 6th at just past 10 in the morning. It's 10:04 currently. I am back and I'm about to start the second day. I did not have an amazing night's sleep. I kept waking up and Marcus kept having nightmares, which in turn also kept waking me up. And yeah, I wanted to be up earlier than I was, but I'm here now. I have had a more filling breakfast than yesterday, so fingers crossed that that actually makes it so I can work for a little bit longer and not take a lunch break in an hour. And 3, I'm sure I had a third point. Now I'm thinking I'm gonna start at 10:15 and then that means I have to end at 5:45 tonight. So I am both starting and finishing an hour earlier than yesterday. And hopefully that makes me feel like I have more evening left in the end as well. Although it wasn't too bad yesterday, I just also didn't go to bed when I should have. Either way, I am back. I'm gonna start today off with working on Alex and Lexi, which I've just pulled up on the screen here. But I do feel a little bit worried because I don't know what to have happen for them for another 15k. I have no plans for it. I have no outline. For Simon and Noah, I at least had this, even though I didn't really follow this, but I had something. I had some sort of plan. And I have none of that for Lexi and Alex. And I gotta write about 15,000 words today if I want to finish this experiment and do it successfully. And that means I have to know what to write. I can't just spend huge chunks of time brainstorming. I have to actually write, but I don't want to write shit. I don't knowingly want to write shit. So we'll see what I do with that. I do also have like a couple notes, just random little notes I've written at some point or other with like, this one says, discovers twin/clone, at least that's what they think, different universes or timelines. And then it turns out that no, they've been both living in the same world, but with their own experiences. This belongs to nothing, but this is some sort of idea I had at some point, wrote down and then put in my little paper holder thing. I don't know. A thing I would also actually like to do is I would like to continue working on this. This is actually not Disney. I'm not working on Disney, but in here I have the typewriter pages that I wrote for the companion book for Simon and Noah. This is about Simon's roommate Freya and her summer. And I started writing this in July 2017. No, I started writing this in July 2021. So last summer, this was my Camp July project. I would like, however, to finish this whole thing on a typewriter, and I'm not gonna introduce a typewriter into the 30k in 15 hours thing because that's just never gonna happen. So maybe I'll work on this, but work on it on the computer. But same with this, I don't really have an outline for it. I have a few ideas, but I don't actually think I put them in here. No, this is just the few pages I typed and then blank pages. So that's great. Yeah, but we'll see. I might end up working on this anyway and just do it on the computer instead and just write the scenes I know are gonna happen. But I'm also so far removed from Freya's head. Like, I've written Simon yesterday, but Simon and Freya are not the same person. And I don't know, we'll just see. Anyway, it's 10:09 right now, so I'm gonna start in 6 minutes. And I think I'm gonna start the first hour with shorter sprints just to warm up a little bit. I did that yesterday. I did a 20-minute sprint and then a 30-minute sprint, and then I jumped into the hour-long ones. But we shall see. Also, last night I did import all of the video clips that I filmed yesterday and put them into my editing program. The things I filmed yesterday was 49 minutes. One day of this experiment. 49 minutes of video files. So maybe I should try to not talk so much today, but also it's fun, for me at least. I hope it is for you too. Anyway, I'm gonna take this next couple minutes and just prepare, see if I can make some sort of plan, and then I will start writing and report back to you afterwards. Please wish me luck, because yes, I did hit 15K yesterday, and maybe I could write a little bit more today and do a little bit less breaks. I already finished editing the video I needed to edit, for example. I do need to make a thumbnail, but it's fine. So maybe I can actually stay a little bit more focused on the writing, and also hopefully not have as many why am I doing this, I hate this, why am I even writing, everything's bad, I have no motivation, I want to go take a nap feelings. I'll talk to you later. So I just started filming a clip and I didn't even actually press record. It is 11:15, or now it's actually 11:17, but I promise I started the previous clip, that wasn't even a clip, at 11:15.
I can vouch for that.
Marcus can vouch for that. He's awake now. That's why he's awake, so he can vouch for me.
Yes.
I have done 3 sprints so far today. One 20-minute sprint that got me 946 words, another 20-minute sprint that got me 1,060 words, and a 10-minute sprint that got me 569 words. So an hour into the second day of the experiment, I have 2,575 words. And I just want to compare a bit, because I did do 50 minutes of writing in the first hour yesterday as well. And I can't do numbers apparently. I did do 50 hours of writing. No, I did do 50 minutes of writing in the first hour yesterday as well, but I did that in a 20-minute sprint and a 30-minute sprint, and I'm just gonna look at that. Yeah, after the first hour yesterday I had 2,763 words, so approximately 200 more words than I have now, even though I did as many minutes of writing. That's not weird to me, because I did do a 30-minute sprint yesterday instead of a 20 and a 10, and a longer sprint tends to make me more focused and more sucked into it, and therefore get a higher word count from it. I kept working on Alex and Lexi, but before I did that I actually did reread just a smidge of this, which is the I can't show things off. This, which is Freya's side of the story of the summer of her and Simon and him taking a photography course and her working. Yeah. Anyway, I did reread a bit of that, and I do know where I'm gonna pick up from. I do think it's likely I'll move over to that at some point today, but I kept writing on Alex and Lexi, and I don't know if this is going in the way I thought it was gonna go. So my plan was that they were gonna go to this party, they were gonna have a pretty good time. Lexi keeps trying to set Alex up with other people, boys in particular, or guys. They're not in high school anymore, they're not boys anymore. She keeps trying to set Alex up, Alex is not interested, and then Alex's New Year's resolution is to be more true to herself, which she is planning to come out to Lexi and tell her that she has a crush on her. However, I don't see why she would still want to be with Lexi after the end of today in the story, because Lexi is not treating her very well. I don't know what has happened, but there is some sort of, there's tension, there is some sort of rift between them, and she just keeps kind of dismissing Alex and just not being very nice to her. They were having a conversation, Alex had actually gone and had a conversation with someone she vaguely knew in high school and actually kind of liked as a person. And then Lexi comes running after her, and an awkward silence, and then Alex goes, "So," I say after a while, feeling that the silence is too pressing, "does anyone have any resolutions?" It occurs to me that Lexi and I haven't talked about that yet, despite spending most of the winter break together. Kind of unsurprisingly though, she snorts. "You know I don't make resolutions," she says, and then glances over at Matt. "I think you can reinvent yourself whenever, not just the start of the year. Don't you agree?" And then Alex's internal monologue is like, why does it feel like she's throwing me under the bus? And this is not the first time. Like, Lexi is just very much dismissing what Alex wants and what Alex wants to do, and not being very nice. So now I'm starting to wonder if Alex's resolution of being more true to herself is that she's gonna tell Lexi that she's being a bitch. which, you know, still being true to herself, but being true about something else. We will see. Anyway, it is now 11:21. I guess I should jump back into another sprint, but I wanted to give you an update. I think I could go another hour without food, so maybe I'll just do an hour-long sprint and then report back and we'll see how it's going. I think that sounds like a plan. I am doing pretty well so far, feeling pretty good, so let's see. It is 12:36. It just ticked over from 35 to 36. I took a little bit of a longer break than I intended to, but I've now finished an hour-long sprint that gave me 3,089 words. And my total for the whole weekend experiment so far is 21,000 words, which I'll also have somewhere on the screen for you. I have written for 110 minutes, which is pretty good. So it's less than 2 hours. I guess that makes sense. That makes sense because I did write for 50 minutes in choppier, smaller sprints, and now I did a 60-minute one, so it makes sense. But 5,500 words in less than 2 hours. Oh, it got really dark all of a sudden. Maybe. That feels like a lot. But since I do seem to be able to write 3,000 words in an hour, it's not that weird. Anyway, I'm at 21,000 words. I was thinking to myself that I would, if I didn't do that in this sprint, I would do another one and get me past the 20k. But now I'm at 21,000 words, so I don't actually need to do that. I'm getting a little bit hungry, but not too bad. Am I hungry enough yet for food? Am I hungry enough yet for food?
I don't know.
Me neither. Are you hungry?
A little bit.
Then maybe we should just take a lunch break. I'm hoping to keep it shorter than yesterday, which was an hour long, but we shall see. I have 9,000 words left to write today, and I am going to be writing for another 5 hours and a bit. So I have another 5 hours to go, approximately. Some of that will be a lunch break, but even if I do take a lunch break for 4 hours, maybe not. Even if I do take a lunch break for an hour, I'll still have 4 hours left to write. Getting 9k in 4 hours should not be a problem for me, unless something unexpected happens. I'm also enjoying is the wrong word, but I'm having kind of fun with Alex and Lexi. It's not good. It's definitely not good. Like, Alex is having an awful time, but some interesting things are happening and I'm kind of enjoying writing it. But again, I don't think I'll have another 9k left of this. I do think I'll switch over to write about Freya soon. Either way, lunch break now, back later, more writing. Hello again. It is 2:46. It just ticked over from 2:45. I had my lunch, which took longer than I intended it to, but apparently eating takes time. Who knew? And now I've just done one 60-minute sprint that gave me 3,163 words. So I'm sitting at 8,827 for the day and just over 24,000 in total for this experiment. So I still need 6,000. I now have just under 2 hours, so I'm getting a little bit stressed. So I'm thinking I'm gonna do a very, very brief update right now, and then I'm gonna pee, and Mark's currently getting me some ice cream, and I'm gonna do, I was gonna say I was gonna do 2 60-minute sprints back to back, but maybe I should just do a 90-minute one or even a 120-minute one, which is a long time, but maybe that's what I need to get into it. However, I feel like I'm soon gonna switch over to I'm nodding to something over there that you can't see. I feel like I'm soon gonna switch over to Freya. Maybe I can do that without too much hassle. Yes, I wrote now for 60 minutes, got a bit over 3,000 words. Things are taking a weird turn. This is not going where I wanted it to, but it's going pretty well. Not for them, but it's going pretty well for me. There's this girl, because it's very like who changed from high school and who's still the same and all that. And there's this girl who used to trade in secrets or cigarettes in high school, and she's doing the same thing at this party. She's like, if you want to find out dirt on this person, then tell me a secret about yourself and I'll share theirs with you, which is interesting. I don't support it, but it is interesting. And so she has just relayed some information to Lexi about Matt, a guy at the party who Lexi's a bit jealous of, and also shared something about Alex that Alex didn't want out. However, Alex turned this around and threw back at Lexi's face that, yeah, I have the upper hand here because you told me your secrets and those are the same secrets you traded with Becca. I told Becca lies and you never asked me about those things, so you don't know what's the truth or not. And I just really like that. I don't know, like, it doesn't really fit Alex to have done that, but I really like that, what I wrote about that. So basically, Alex shared secrets with Becca, that's the girl's name, that were complete lies, but they sounded like they were true. Becca wouldn't care, but she would share those secrets with someone else if they asked. And I don't know, I just really like that concept, even though it's really shitty of everyone involved, except Alex. I do like her protecting her own back like that. Either way, I am gonna have a little pee break right now. I'm also both having a headache, and cramping. Great. I'm gonna take a quick little bathroom break and then come back and then soon switch over to Freya. So I'm actually gonna set up a document for that straight away so that I have it, just to get started on that soon. But I have just under 2 hours left. I need to write 6,000 words. Wish me luck, because I don't think I can do it. I think I can do it, but I'm getting a little bit concerned. But I'm gonna do, I don't know, should I do a 2-hour sprint? Can I do a 2-hour sprint? I'm gonna do a 1.5 hour sprint, and then I'll have just under half an hour to catch up on the last of it. And I'm hoping that an hour and a half is gonna be enough to like get me properly sucked back into it. All right, guess I'll talk to you in an hour and a half, unless I have not a lot of time left to do a lot of words, and need to make sure I do that first, because that does get priority over updating this, because if this is the reason I don't make my time goal or my word count goal, that's on me and I don't want that. So I'm gonna shush now and talk to you later. For those of you who watched the last clip and went, wait a second, that math doesn't add up, you're right. I realized 17 minutes into that sprint, I realized, hold on. It's not 2 hours until my deadline. It's 3 hours until the deadline. Nevertheless, I did do the 90-minute sprint and I got 4,046 words, and I got all those words on Freya's story. I've jumped over to that now. I left Alex and Lexi and just went over to Freya, and I'm enjoying it. I'm not really finding her voice, but that's fine. But I jumped over to that and I finished up at the scene that I had started on the typewriter. I wrote the last bit of that, which took an unexpected turn, but I wrote it, and then I've written 2 now separate scenes that I knew were gonna happen, but they're not happening in order. They're not happening when they're supposed to in the story. I'm just writing them because I know I want them to happen. I know how I want them to go. And since I'm on a little bit of a time crunch here, I figured I should write those. Either way, it is now 4:35, so now it's just about an hour left. It's an hour and 10 minutes, fine, 9 minutes. It just turned 36. It's an hour and 9 minutes left, and I have just under 2,000 words left to write. I have 1,770 words left to write. I have my tracking on the screen behind you. So I do think I can do that in the next hour. I am losing a little bit of steam, which is fine. I have written a lot in the last 2 days and my headache is still there and everything's fine. Everything's not fine, but it's fine that I'm losing momentum a little bit. But I don't want to take too long of a break now. I've already taken a bit of a break and I went to the bathroom and I talked to Marcus for a bit and stuff. But now I feel like I should just wrap this up, and the sooner I finish it, the sooner I am done. I am not thinking that I'm gonna go for the whole 30 hours if I don't need to. Past me probably would have, and then past me would have been like, oh, I wrote 32,000 words in 15 hours. But current me is not gonna do that. Current me is gonna get the 30k, which is just about 2,000 words away now, and then that will be it. So I think I'm gonna do a 60-minute sprint, which will end me, fair enough, will end me just before the time is up, but I'm not gonna push for it. I could probably get away with just doing a 40-minute sprint. I'm looking at my tracking. 40-minute sprints have gotten me over the limit I need before, but you know what, let's start with 40 minutes. If I don't need to do more than that, I won't do more than that. Character development in myself. So I'll jump into that any minute now, and then I'll report back either when that sprint's up or when I'm done. I keep saying that. Hopefully I'll be done the next time you see me. So done. I did it! I should maybe look at the actual lens and not look at myself.
But you're so impressive.
I am very impressive. I did it! I did it! I did it! I did it! It is 5:30, so I am 15 minutes earlier than I have to be for this experiment to be complete, be real, whatever. I just finished my 40-minute sprint, which gave me 2,150 words. I almost said 21,000. That would have been a bit extreme. 2,150 words. My total for the day is 15,023 words, and my total word count for these 2 days is 30,380 words. I did it! And now, because I've proven to you how good I am at math, I'm gonna enlist the help of the husband. I have written for 9.9 hours. I have written for 294 minutes yesterday and 300 minutes today. That comes down to 9.9 hours, which means 9 hours and... I put him on the spot.
Yes.
Brief interlude.
I have a document where I have such information.
Oh, I'm gonna fix my shirt in the meantime. Gotta look presentable.
Then that is 9 hours and 54 minutes.
9 hours and 54 minutes is the verdict. So in 9 hours and 54 minutes, out of the 15 hours that have passed between starting and finishing each day, I have written 30,380 words. I did it. I did it. I had my ups and downs, I had my doubts if I could do this or not, but it looks like I did it. Looks like I did it. This last 40-minute sprint, I kept working on Freya's story, and I kept doing just random scenes that I think should happen. But I will say that I now feel a bit lost, like what do I keep writing the next time I write? I don't know what to do with Simon and Noah, I don't know what to do with Alex and Lexi, and I don't know what to do with Freya's story. But that is not a problem I need to figure out tonight, and not a problem that you need to hear today. So that's good for me. Now, just to answer a question that I would have if I was watching this video, what's next? What is next? Because now I've done 10K in 5 hours, 20K in 10 hours, and successfully done 30K in 15 hours. Well, I am here to tell you, I am not allowed to do 40,000 words, or attempt to do 40,000 words in 20 hours. No way. Not allowed. In that case,
no.
in that case, definitely not 2 10-hour days. In that case, it would be like 40K over 4 days, 10K a day, 5 hours a day. But I am not allowed to do that, even though I did just find a loophole, didn't I?
I promised to not let you do that.
Yes, I'm not gonna do it. I am also not allowed to do another 30K in 15 hours where I decide to have the brilliant idea of doing the 15 hours in a row. Doing 2 15K days back to back is bad enough. This has not fully been an enjoyable experience. I'm glad I've done it. I'm happy I've gotten a lot written, but I'm not actually gonna do it again. Probably. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this writing experiment and following along. I have no idea how long this video ended up being because, like I said, yesterday's footage ended up being 49 minutes. I have not yet checked today, but I feel like I've been talking to you guys a lot, so we shall see. This writing experiment, the 30K in 15 hours, is actually part of a bigger writing experiment that I am doing in the month of February, and I'm hoping to have that video out for you on the 9th of March, I believe. Yes, the 9th of March, but it might not be up until the following Wednesday because I'm gonna have a lot of footage to go through for that, aren't I? But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for following along. Thank you for cheering me on in the comments down below. I hope you've been doing that. I hope so. I will be back with another video soon, so I hope to see you then. Bye!